What is up, Copy Squad? It's your boy Kyle Milligan coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida, and today we're going to address why nobody wants to help you and how you can ask for help and actually get help. This has been an inspiration. This video comes inspired by people reaching out for help, and a lot of the times, I find myself in this weird frustrated state where it's like, I can't help you, and I don't want to say that I can't help you, but it's like you have put me in a really difficult position to help you, and I want to explain that. It's not that I'm self-centered or that, it's not a what's in it for me sort of conversation at all. As a matter of fact, what you'll find, and will kind of blow your mind, is that the people with the most knowledge are actually super willing and very assertive in sharing their knowledge. It's kind of like they've figured it out the hard way and they want to help other people do it. And I think people just don't understand how to ask for help, and they're just doing it wrong. And again, it's not a what's in it for me conversation. It's not about value add. It's about not understanding how to get help because you're making a fatal mistake. So the fatal mistake basically renders you unhelpable. And it's not that you're a bad person or that you aren't worth it or anything like that. It's basically that the way you're asking for help or the way that you're approaching the topic of seeking support is you're missing a critical step. And I think the problem is you don't have a problem. And it's like you don't have a solvable problem that someone with experience can actually assist you with. Because a lot of times the question is this: how do I get started? Okay, so we need to do a paradigm shift on how you look and view and think about the word help and getting help. Think of help as optimize, okay? Don't think of help as someone to assist you. Think of it as someone to optimize you. Then you can understand that when you ask the question, how do I get started? How difficult it can be to help you, because you cannot optimize zero, okay? I want to tell you a story. When I was in sales on the phone, I was not having a great month at this new job I had started. I basically had maybe one conversion or something out of hundreds of phone calls and stuff like that. And the manager called me in the room and he was like, "Kyle, you're doing great." And I was like, "That's impossible. I'm the last person on our team. It's not going well for me. I don't know if this is right for me. I don't know if blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "No, dude, no." He's like, "Look, this is how many calls other people have made." And it's a couple hundred or something like that. And we had tools for strong robo-dialing powers and stuff like that. But he was like, "Yeah, they've made a couple hundred. Dude, you have made 4 digits. You're in the thousands. I can help you. If we can get you making 1,000 calls every day," he's like, "Dude, I can optimize that. I can fix that. We just get you on the phone with all these people and we'll start to..." He basically talked about optimizing my sales process, that's where he can actually help me, because I am actually doing something. There is some activity to be assisted with. Okay, so think about it like that. He can't help me if I'm not making phone calls. I can't help writers that don't write. I can't help businesses that have no product to sell or are not selling. Okay, if you want to become like me, where if you get stuck, you complain loudly. Here's a couple things, prerequisites. To get stuck, you must first have been moving, right? You gotta hit a wall, and now you're stuck. I can't advance any further. I have a problem to overcome. Remember at the beginning of the video, getting started is not a real problem. That means you're not doing anything. There is no problem to solve. You're just kind of chilling in your desk. That's not a real problem. So you cannot ask for help if you're not taking action. If you're taking action and spinning your wheels, then we can analyze that, okay? We can fix spinning wheels. We can help you get some traction, but I'm not going to push a train from zero to start. I mean, not only will I not do it, I can't, because it's one of those things I've struggled with my whole life. Like I said, I complain loudly when I get stuck, but when I get stuck, guess what? I have actually a real problem of me spinning wheels. And when you're spinning wheels and you're putting in effort and you're at a point in your process or your development where you are stuck, people higher than you will recognize that and they will say, "Dude, I can help that guy. I've been through that. I can help him get over that," because I remember how difficult and annoying and how much I struggled for that, right? So that's if you're going to complain loudly, which again, that's what I said my strategy was when I get stuck. I did omit that I read a lot of books on the topic that I'm struggling with. Like for instance, when I wanted to kind of process my, turn the Copy Squad YouTube channel into like a process-oriented sort of business, I read this book called The E-Myth Revisited, and then I also read this other book called Clockwork. I think it's like Make Your Business Run Like Clockwork or Machinery or something like that. But I mean, I read a lot of books on the topic, and then I also complain loudly to experts and people above me who could maybe help me out and want some help. But people will say, and I've had like these weird realizations where someone will say, well, how'd you get them to help you? No one will help me. And it's like, but what's your question? You know, how do I get started in real estate? Well, what kind of question is that? Like, are you trying to buy a condo, a townhouse, a single family home? In what area? Are you going to buy it for yourself? Is it an investment property? Are you going to want to put kids and families and dogs in there? Are you going to want to put a bachelor, a college kid, or a doctor? Like, what? I can't help you get started in real estate. Does that make sense? Like, again, this all comes back to this idea. Move away from this idea of help and turn the word help in your brain to optimize. People can help you if what they're doing is optimized, but you can't really do anything. So if you want a mentor, if you want someone to guide you, if you want someone to assist you, well, they will do it if you're actually moving, if you're making efforts, if you have a high volume of activity, they can optimize it because they've been there and they've done that. Okay, how do you ask for help? Okay, let me talk about this too. Vague and specific exist at opposite ends of the value spectrum. Okay, so I wrote this little note down because this is really important. A question that drives me nuts, or the kinds of questions that drive me nuts, are the vague questions. Like, it'll make me pull the remainder of my hair out when someone will send me an email with a link and then the question, thoughts? What thoughts? What am I supposed to do with that? Like, what is that? That's a terrible question to ask somebody. Again, think of the value spectrum, okay? And vague on one end, specific on the other end. If I asked you to pay for a $3,000 course and I basically explained what to do and then never told you how to do it, I don't know which side is value or which one's vague or specific anymore. But if I told you what to do and I never told you how to do it, it's not very valuable, is it? Right? So whenever you ask a vague question, I want you to anticipate a very vague response, right? The farther vague you go, the less valuable your questions are to someone who could help you, right? The more vague you are, you have to provide, like, the vaguer you are with your inquiries and questions, the vaguer your response will be all the way, and the vague response can go all the way to crickets. Absolutely not even answering you, because what a waste of time your question is, okay? And I think this is really important because this is a trend that it clicked with me very recently, where I was like, dude, this is, you're sabotaging yourself in a way that you could be getting great education, and I've been through it myself as well. So the reason people, let's kind of sum up and recap. The reason why no one will help you is there could be one of a couple symptoms, okay? One, you aren't doing anything. Let's say number two is you need a real problem. Like, once you get going, you have to actually have a hurdle to overcome, because it isn't about, don't think of help as an assistance, think of help as an optimize. I can optimize your activity and get you through that hurdle, but I cannot create action on your behalf. That's the struggle, right? Okay, so the third thing would be the vagueness, specificity, okay? Those are on opposite ends of a value spectrum, okay? If you bought an info product, if it didn't tell you how to do the thing that you bought, like how to get the result that you want, then it's not a very valuable info product, right? If I write a bullet, right? Like, okay, here, I'll give you a more example. How to get strong, right? How to get strong in 2 weeks. 3 steps to getting strong in 2 weeks. A proven science-backed system to get strong in 2 weeks. A proven science-backed system to get 300% stronger in 2 weeks. A proven science-backed system by Dr. So-and-so to increase your bench press by 200% in 2 weeks. Do you see, as I add more specificity, this becomes more valuable, becomes more exciting, becomes more relatable and useful. How to get strong doesn't help anybody. How to save time doesn't help anybody, okay? This is why I say like the principles of copywriting are universal. When you're thinking about the other person, you know, you can call it empathy or you can just call it intelligence, you can call it whatever you want. But when you start thinking about the other person and you understand that the specificity makes the world go round, right? And it's very important that the more things that you can include specific-wise, and of course the new easy, safe, and big for selling emotions, the more apt you are to arouse a response, whatever it may be, okay? So that was something I wanted to share with you today. That's all I got for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, peace out, Copy Squad.